sound after 5 weeks. It's Bucks Fizz.
Well, the great news is Bucks Fizz are here in the studio to answer questions that you, members of the fan club, have asked them. Some may be trivial, some may be deep, some may fool them all together, and some they may fall asleep over. I have absolutely no idea, but they'll be squabbling and fighting and punching each other, but that's okay. But they are making a new album. We'll find out about that as well, and what's happening this year in 2017, and the tour as well. So, first of all, welcome to all of you. Absolutely brilliant. Michael, Jade, Cheryl and Bobby, questions coming for you. Martin Matthews, first of all, he said, I'm sure my choices of Bucks Fizz singles will be different to yours. What are your favourite singles, whether you sang them or whether you didn't, of Bucks Fizz?
Is it me first?
Yeah.
Tough question.
But now what I'm going to say, it's nothing personal, it's actually Now Those Days Are Gone. Now I know I sung, it's the only single that we did, I sung the lead on. It had nothing to do with it. If one of the girls had sung it or Bobby had sung it, would make any of it. It's my personal favourite song. And when it was brought out, it's completely different to everything else that was before that as well. So everything we were releasing was different to the last one, and this was just I think the best one we ever did.
Okay, Jay.
I tend to agree with him. Now
Thank
Those
you.
Days Are Gone.
You sound like you didn't quite want to agree with him.
Land of Make Believe, I think, was the one that launched us so that we weren't just a one-hit wonder, because it was a huge hit. It was actually our biggest selling single. I think we sold 1 million copies in the UK quite, as soon as it was released. Yeah. So Land of Make Believe for what it did for us, but I must agree that Now Those Days Are Gone is an absolute classic.
Okay.
Well, I hate to be boring, but Now Those Days Are Gone, and Land of Make Believe, and New Beginning. I think New Beginning is a great song. I loved it. It was completely different, and it was at a time when, our chart success had really waned. Jay had left the band, and it was all a bit, is this the end of the group? But we came back with New Beginning, and it was a tremendous hit. And we do it now as the opening of the show, and it goes down a storm.
So, Bobby, did you have one that you thought, I'd love to be singing on that? That's great.
My Camera Never Lies.
Yeah.
I've always loved it. I like Now Those Days Are Gone. In fact, I recorded Now Those Days Are Gone. I sang a better version of Mike.
But you know what? A lot of people have done that, and I too tend to agree. I think he sings it very well. And we did try it at one of the sessions, and not to say at one of the sound checks, but maybe you should try Now Those Days Are Gone, didn't I? Yeah. He just went thinking, I said, forget it.
Does it make any difference that you're an inch taller than Mike or not when you're singing?
Yeah, that inch is very important.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, because I can get higher notes than Mike because of that inch.
No, you cannot.
I can.
Steph Bradley actually said, if you were in an elevator and you had to give that elevator speech, you had like 30 seconds to tell someone about you, and you had to sell yourself. You weren't in the band, you had to sell yourself to somebody. How would you sell yourself in 30 seconds?
Go on, you go first. 'Cause it keeps on thinking about
I'm creative. I'm the lateral creative one. Mm-hmm. I'm not really the chatty one, but I'm the one who comes up with ideas that then people can work with.
I'd
Sure.
say
Your 30 seconds.
if I was joining a band, I'd say you need me in your band because I can do all your harmonies, and just laugh a lot and work hard and be late and I know everything. It's
She
true.
knows everything.
And you can cook.
And I can cook. Yeah, yeah, I can cook. So I can cook you meals while learning the harmonies to your songs.
Perfect. Mike, you've got to keep this to 30 seconds.
Start the car.
Well, I was born in Dublin. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I'd be.
You must be charming.
That's 15.
Do that a lot.
16.
I just think it was about what I would say to people in the lift. Listen, perfection is not the easiest thing to get, but if you follow me, you will get there. That's all I can say. I'm very easygoing. Whatever anyone asks me to do, and I do it, don't I?
30 seconds.
I am easygoing. No, I'm going to go 40.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, I just go along with everything. Am I the easiest going on in this band?
Most of the time.
Most of the
But
time.
when you put your foot down,
Oh, God.
it goes down and it does not come up.
Yeah, it's atomic.
But it's an inch shorter.
Steph also wanted to know, and I guess this is a good one for you, Mike, to start with, the last time you were scared, really scared, you must have had that moment.
Are you talking about the 1984 incidents?
It could be anything, they're just asking generally, but I'm guessing, putting myself in your position, that it's a time when you will be scared.
But no, but that doesn't scare me at all. That because Cheryl and I went through the windscreen, and it was this that when something that happens to you, this barrier goes up in front of you, so you just got no recollection of it at all. And everyone else in the coach, apart from Tom, Cheryl, and myself, remembers everything that happened, and I don't. So I'm quite relieved that I remember that. So that's. I'm quite happy that way to not remember things like that.
Were you scared afterwards when you came around? You think, oh my goodness me.
I don't remember much about when I came round. Very, very little at all. It took me a long time to come through that. It took absolutely years to come through it, but hey, I'm back to normal now, aren't I?
As close as you can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you scared, Jane, any time? Not necessarily then, but any time in your life, taking to the stage, whatever, the first time you're on stage, Eurovision, whatever, there are times where we're all absolutely terrified of something we're not used to.
Actually, I was really not happy doing The Voice, which I think was a huge mistake. And I felt really exposed. So actually, I was quite scared walking on the stage, especially as they'd counted me down and then said, oh, we want a tea break. So I had to go off for half an hour and go and do it again. That made me very nervous and I actually felt nerves, which I don't normally feel.
Sure, it's always something out of your comfort zone that makes you feel scared, isn't it?
Oh, there were two things that I can say really made me scared. One was the first time I saw The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
And I made my little brother sleep with me, and then when he had enough, I made my dog sleep with me, and that lasted for days and days, or nights and nights. And then the next time was when I nearly lost one of my children, when she was born with a condition that I didn't think she was going to pull through, and she did. So I think probably as flippant as The Exorcist comment was, the depth of almost losing one of your children is the most horrific thing that any person could go through. So. Beat that.
Mine was quite recent. Well, I can't beat it because I don't have children. But I've got a dog. I've got a border collie, and we were on tour last year. And I remember it was 28th of October. We just finished the gig, and I got a phone call from my wife because I live in Italy, and she said, "I think Spike's just had a stroke." And the vet came out the following day and said, "I don't think he's got long to last. He's got a few days to last." And I think that was the nervous and scared I've ever got.
Well, we had more gigs, so you couldn't go
I
home.
couldn't get back. So we're still in the middle of the tour. Yeah. So that. But 4 months on, touch wood, Mike, give your head. God bless you. Everybody thinks there's a metal plate, it's chipboard. He's still going.
Denise said, if you could go back in your life and change one thing in your life, what would it be, Bobby? What would be the one thing you'd change?
I know the answer to this one. I would have gone for the audition for Fizz. Because I met Nicola Martin on the first tour we did, and I just thought, I'll go and ask her. And I said, if I'd come for the audition when I've got the job, and she went, absolutely, darling. So I would have been the original Bobby.
You're here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am the original Bobby now.
Well, yeah,
The original Bobby in Cheryl, Michael J. formerly in Fizz with Bobby McVeigh, yeah.
I love that title, such a catchy title. Can we abbreviate that somehow?
It could be some weird acronym if you put it together. Cheryl, what about you? Is there anything for you?
No.
Nothing.
Even, the coach crash.
Yeah.
But I think there's been mistakes, but I think you learn by them, don't you? And you try not to make them again. So there's personal things that I wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Boyfriends and that, and giving money to people because you trust them and stuff. But
Yeah. But it's that decision, isn't it? That where the phone call comes and you say yes or no. Do you turn left or right? You can find yourself miles over there and you used to come on miles over there. So it's those instant decisions where you go, do I close the door or do I open it?
That's why I love that movie, Sliding Doors. Sliding Doors.
Yeah.
Peter Howitt and Peter. I did panto with Peter Howitt, and that's his life. His life was, should I do this or should I do that? And
Yeah.
But always open the door. Never close it. Always open it.
That's right.
Because you never know what's on the other side.
Do you have a moment, Jay? Is the one moment for you?
A day in 1983, but I won't give you any details.
At all?
No, we know what she's talking about.
It's a
Presumably
personal
it's
thing.
a personal relationship.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, you have given me some details. Hey, the trick of interview. But then we know more, clearly. Yeah. Yeah, but I think we all have those, don't we, in a relationship where you think, Did I make the right decision? Did I make a wrong decision? You know, it's. I think that's an area we all have.
Yeah,
we all have a problem.
I think you learn from that, and I think it actually makes you the person that you are. I think you have to go through all that stuff
Yeah.
to get to where you are. You know, to grow, basically.
They always say that. They always say you learn from your mistakes. I'm never quite sure. We always use that phrase. But you'd like to think you learn from your mistakes. I'm not sure.
Until you make them again.
Yeah.
There's always a new one to fall into. There's
You make
always a
mistakes
new-
all your life. And you say,
new
never
pitfall.
again is that going to happen. That doesn't happen. Something else happens.
So apart from the obvious, Cheryl, so apart from the coach house, what else would you have changed in your life?
I don't know how to change anything. Nothing at all. Because the way I look at life, whatever's ahead of you in life, there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to go through it, be the accident or anything like that. I don't have any. I don't. No,
What about your
nothing
confirmation,
at all.
though?
Something like that. Yes, there is one thing I would like to change. There is. Thank you, Bobby.
You're
You
welcome.
Son of a little bugger.
Sorry.
It's my name. Michael is fine and Nolan is fine. I was born in 1954 in Dublin. And if you're born in Dublin this is the absolute truth. If you're born in Dublin in 1954, that was called the Marian year of the Blessed Virgin. Now, unless you're true Catholic, you won't understand what that's all about. But whether you be a boy or girl, you'll be christened Mary.
Okay.
This is for real. The absolute truth. And I never realised this until I needed a passport. And when I sent off to the Irish hospital place in Dublin to get it, it came across, it said, Michael Mary Nolan. And I also have a cousin in Ireland who has the same problem as well. But what makes it worse is when you are 12, you make a confirmation. And when you're a Catholic, you make a confirmation, you choose the name of a saint. I didn't realise this, but we were told this story about different saints, and there was one particular saint who had an incredible story, and his name was St. Aloysius. But that becomes part of your name as well. So my actual name is Michael Mary Aloysius.
So nothing you changed then, right?
Man for short.
And there is nothing I can do about it. And I know it. You know what? I was very close with you, wasn't I?
Yeah.
We've always been very close, me and Cheryl. But I couldn't tell her what my middle name was. But one of the fans actually sent off for all our birth certificates. And back she came with mine, and she handed it to me, and I said, and I just saw
You
it,
were
and I said,
furious.
oh, I wouldn't sign it. I said, that is not my birth certificate. It's all wrong. So look, it says you're born in Dublin, 7/12/54. I said, it's not my birth certificate. So I wouldn't sign it. And I thought, that's it. Everyone's going to know now. So I just sat there and said, my middle name's Mary, by the way. And they just looked at me, what? And I had to explain it. So that is not my fault. I blame... It wasn't my parents' fault either, because I was just taken away. As soon as I was born, I was taken straight down to the church and christened. That was it.
Hey, Plant, it's a great name.
Well, Aloysius.
If you can spell it.
Oh,
There's a
don't.
Y in it somewhere. I looked it
Oh,
up.
it's very hard to live with, but you know what? I don't care.
You did
I mean,
used to care.
if my
right?
name was John Wayne and his name was Susan, wasn't it?
Marion.
Oh,
Marion.
Marion.
That's it, Marion. And I had a terrible hang up about that. And so did Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
My name is Sue, how do you do?
Yeah, but I
He
don't
wasn't
think that
really
was real.
called Sue, though. But yeah.
No, actually, no, that's true. Actually, that wasn't true. I got back on that.
Mike,
was
there's
just
plenty
a
of other
song.
questions.
Yeah, let's forget it now. I had to
200
explain
get
that to
through.
you, Mike.
Well, I'm
because
looking forward to seeing the album cover with the full name on. That's absolutely brilliant. I think it could be the name of an album.
We actually called her Mary on stage. We were doing a certain
No,
song.
you do.
Yeah, I do, yeah. At one point, we'll go forward in the song and I'll go, Mike! Thumb down. And then the second part of the song, I go, Mary! And a lot of fans have been saying, why does Bobby call Mike Mary? Now, you know.
A lot of them know. Anyway, I just...
Talk about the album. I mean, you've got a new album coming, and several people asked the question how you chose Mike Stock to do the album, and whether you're going to release singles from the album, and what's going to be on the album, how it's going to be, whether you've had input. So we could throw all those things together.
Well, I heard that Mike was a record producer. I haven't heard any of his stuff.
Don't
Pete
listen to
Waterman
him.
wasn't available.
How did that come about?
Twitter.
Was it Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter.
Oh, it was Twitter.
Yeah.
It
Go on,
was.
Cheryl.
I follow Mike, and Mike follows me on Twitter. There was a Fizz fan who linked us both together in a tweet saying, "Mike Stock, why don't you do an album with formerly Bucks Fizz?" You know, and I contacted him and said, "Well, how about it?" And he went, "Well, let's talk," and that's how it happened.
That's how we're here.
But he did ask if I was still in the band. And they said yes. He said,
From which point of view is he
I will
asking?
take you on because
Can we
he's
replace
got
him
something
as well?
about me that he likes. I don't know what it is.
Also, people always say, oh, there's such and such a band still going. And I say, yeah, but actually they've got better because they learn about each other, the harmonies become more intricate, you have more idea of what you want to do, you're more comfortable with yourselves, so, everything is better, and the fact you're still doing it, and you've got a fan base as well.
Yeah.
I think your voice developed
Yeah.
as well.
Very much so.
I think vocally we're all stronger now than we were back in the 80s.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And we're all in charge of what we do as well. Whereas before you say, right, this is what you're going to sing, and this is the choreographer, and this is where it's going to all happen. We've got complete say in what we sing now, and we've got all our harmonies out, don't we? You sort them out, and I correct you. But that's not your fault. But no, we have fun doing it, and I think the rehearsals are more fun than the shows.
It's lovely. We sit in the car and sing through stuff, and it's just great.
What are you laughing at?
Well, I just remember the first time we were actually coming to meet Mike Stock, and we were rehearsing for the tour, and we're practicing the harmony. She goes, "No, you got to do that because she's the boss when it comes to the harmony. Showing the boss." We're doing so much concentration on this. We missed the flipping motorway and straight past the junction we're supposed to get off. And it was like our first meeting with Mike Stock. We were an hour and a half late because we were too busy concentrating on singing.
But I did phone Mike and tell him. Now, if one of you had phoned up and said it to him, he wouldn't have had us there. But I actually spoke to him because we've got something in common, me and Mike.
The name.
That's what it is. It's the name.
But the important thing is to get on. I think as you get on, if you all get on, you can have a laugh. I think I was talking to some bands recently. I said back in the 80s we were all or the management saying don't talk to them because they're in the top 10 and you're not. And it was maybe a bit edgier. And as everyone's gone now, you've got to introduce a bit of humour into it and have fun and get on well, really.
And you can't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I think it becomes more like a family if you keep doing it, doesn't it? And
Yeah, and
you
it
see
develops.
people and you're out on the road and
develops,
it's
yeah.
fun rather than being confrontational.
We're quite relaxed on stage as well, aren't we? Whereas before, you had to be in the right position and stand here and stand there, do this, do that. And now it's just all. When I say laid back, it is laid back, but it's still very, very professional how we do it. I think I am.
It is. It's
Okay,
slick. It's a slick. We
It
do
is
a
slick.
slick show. We do.
Clive Bamfylde said, which song would you like at your funeral? Not yet. He's not pushing you into it. He's not sort of chasing you along. But if you were to pick a song, maybe one of your own and one of somebody else's.
Tough question.
Interesting.
That one song to see you off.
For me, it would have to be David Bowie, Wild as the Wind.
Because you won't be here to hear it, but you'll know that everyone else is hearing it.
You don't know that though, do you?
No, you don't. You're quite right, actually.
That's why they used to have
That's the
bells.
one thing. That's the biggest
Thing that you
exciting
don't know.
thing that yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It might be the greatest adventure or the longest sleep,
Yeah.
and we'll only know when we die. Wouldn't it be great though if you do choose your music and you go, oh, I'm so glad.
And you're looking down on it, going,
They're playing the music.
Or if the DJ put the wrong one on, you're going, no!
I'm going to haunt you.
So what would the song be?
I don't know.
Okay. Tracy Pearson said, are any of you thinking about writing your autobiographies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been doing it for years now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
She's on page 3.
No, I've done thousands of pages, but there's still not enough. And I don't write chronologically. I think, oh, I remember that bit, and I write. Mind you, I haven't said I write everything down. I haven't written anything down for a long time.
I think that's the best way of doing it. Throw it down, move it around afterwards is better
Yeah.
than writing it chronologically.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing kind of paragraphs of things that I remember in my life. But one day it'll come out.
Am I in it?
You've got a title. People have always got a title before they've
Yeah.
written the book.
It's got to be, I know. What
You've got me on a chapter, haven't I, Cheryl?
if it was mine,
definitely.
I'd call it The Land of Make Believe.
The Land of Make-Believe. You
I'd
could
call
get
it
in
the
there
band
first
that
by
make you
establishing
heave.
that the others can't use it.
Exactly.
I like your version. The band that make me heave.
The band that make you heave. That was there used to be a comedy group called Foundation, and it was Hale and Pace before they were famous, and Peter Howitt, who I did the pantomime with, and he said, I hope you don't mind, he said, but I rewrote the lyrics to The Land of Make Believe, and I called it The Band That Make You Heave. And I went into hysterical laughter, and he knew then that he'd get on with me. Yeah.
Mike, your book coming out when?
No, I haven't got a book coming out. Do you know, I started doing one about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's just little bits and bobs of what going on. I mean, I can't remember a lot of it. So when I have it all together, I have to go really think about it, because there's lots of things I can't remember from the past.
We should have a blank chapter. Do chapter 3, just put nothing.
Yeah, but no, you have to have something in there.
Well, no, just blank pages, big seller.
Yeah, fill in your own
Colour in.
Fill in your own memories of me.
Yeah, colour in the bits that you put. Yeah, I forgot.
But my family are very good at reminding me of things that happened in the past. You're very good at reminding me of things.
You remember a lot of stuff.
I can remember a lot of things.
Yeah, but Cheryl's probably telling you stuff that didn't really happen to give you a false
Well,
memory.
we've had rows about that, because she says I did something. I said, I did not do that. Wow. Cheryl and I actually we are the biggest rows in the band, aren't we? Really, because I don't argue with Jay. We just have words. Because in a band like us, everyone thinks, oh, they're fantastic friends. We are great together, but we do have moments where we don't agree on something. And when Jay doesn't agree with something, I go, well, why not? And Bobby's quite easy going. Oh, when I disagree with something with Cheryl, she goes, and why not? And then we start. Don't we?
Yeah.
We really do lose it.
We're like two old fishwives. We go, "Rah!"
Yeah, and it's really. But and then I said, so you're absolutely wrong. And she said, I'm not, I'm right. I said, okay, you're right. End of subject, I want to forget about it. Tea or coffee? Said, have a tea. Said, right, see. But I know you're wrong. That's it. That's where we end it. But generally, we just all get on, don't we? I get on with you really well, I do, because you love me.
That's telling someone, I get on really well with you, don't I? John Wilton Stevenson said, when you're laying stuff down in the studio, how do you know which order to go in? Or is it the producer, like in this instance, Mike Stock, says, okay, we're going to put the backing track down, we want you to put this vocal on first, or the BVs on first, the backing vocals. How do you do it? Is there generally a pecking order of who does what?
There's a height reference. You start off from the shortest first to the tallest.
Okay, so you go
No.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you're
Yes,
not. No, it's not, because Mike said,
Stand up. Oh, you are.
go, you start singing, Bobby, and the girls put their backing vocals out, and when Bobby starts singing, that single can go silver. And when the girls put their backing vocals down, it goes gold. When I go down, it goes platinum. And I believe that.
See what we've
You
had to put
sound
up
like you're
with.
on blind date selling yourself to somebody there, you know.
Have you noticed how shy Mike is? Hardly ever says
Crippling shyness of it, yeah, absolutely. But on top of that, is there a frivolous answer to go with this as well as how it does work in the studio?
No, while we've been recording with Mike, he says, well, who wants to go in first? And we go, oh, go on, you go. Yeah. So actually, it's a bit, I suppose it depends on the song.
Depends on the song. So we did it
Yeah.
in the kind of regular format. So if the boys were singing lead, they'd go in and do it first, and then we put our harmonies on. Just depends. Each song is different.
And Claire Tipping said, if you could have one person on the album as a guest singer or a guest musician, who would you each choose? If you could pick one person to say, love to have them on the album, this is what they do, a lead vocal, guitar, whatever, drums, who would you pick, Bobby?
I think it'd have to be Madonna. The album was sort of like, oh, thanks. Madonna's on it.
So that's the rhythm guitar sorted out. Well, what about the singer?
McCartney, actually. I would love to work
Yeah.
with McCartney, yeah. I'd love to just have Paul McCartney on it, because I've always been a Beatles fan. And I did some vocals on Fairy Age, remember?
Yeah, I was there, yeah.
And on the back of the record, it's got all the credits of who sang what. And it's got Paul McCartney, Bobby McVeigh, Mel and Kim. So I'm under Paul McCartney and above Mel and Kim, so I was quite pleased. No, I would love McCartney, because he loves, because of the Beatles harmonies as well, and our four harmonies as well. I think it'd be brilliant.
I say, Paul, while you're here, stick a bit of bass down.
Yeah! No, he's
Yeah.
crap at bass. Can't play bass to save his life.
Cheryl, what about you? Who would you have on?
Phil Collins.
Really?
Yeah, I love him. I love his voice.
Not James Taylor.
Oh no, James Taylor, but James Taylor wouldn't suit Bucks Fizz. He wouldn't. But he's James is my idol, but I think Phil Collins comes in close, and and Joni. I love me Joni.
Yeah, me Jodie.
Me Joni.
Joni.
But I think I'd like Phil Collins because he could play drums.
Well, I was
so
going
we've
to
got the
say,
bass,
yeah,
we've
you've
got
got
the
the bass there. You've got a good rhythm section. What about you, Jay?
Peter Gabriel.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.
Genesis.
Yeah, yeah.
Funny that, isn't it?
You could all take a break and leave these guys in the studio. Say, look, let's carry on.
I think they'd ask us to leave, actually.
It's getting quite credible here. McCartney, Phil Collins.
Yeah.
It's all going
But now
Here we
it
go.
could go haywire here.
It's a Julie Andrews.
It will be. It'll be Majuli, won't it?
I like
She had a
to
great
think
range. She had a terrific range.
Who?
Julie Andrews.
She's a great range she had.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Julie. Hang on a minute.
Shall I put the kettle on?
How long have we got?
Do you know what? I don't have an answer to that.
What,
I
Julie
don't
Andrews
know,
or the
no,
other
I don't know
person?
who I'd like. There's so many people I'd love to work with in the studio.
How about the person that I've had a photo with and you haven't?
Why don't you just shut up about that, Cheryl?
Yeah.
He just irritates the
She'd
hell out
be
of me. when you
good.
do. She would sing with me. She wouldn't want to sing
Oh,
with the
go
band.
on.
Olivia. I saw her in concert about a couple of months ago, and she was really, really good. And I'd love to sing with her, and she would love to sing with me.
She just doesn't know it yet.
Doesn't know yet, no. We haven't met yet because she's done
You've sang
so
with
well.
Cheryl.
I've sung with her,
You've
yeah,
sang
I've
with
sung with
Yeah,
her.
yeah, but you sang with
I
her
could really
in a bar.
So have you.
I could really hack you off by telling you that I had sung with her.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen off at all. When?
2000,
So what did you sing?
at Cliff's birthday.
Oh,
2000.
right.
He took a
Oh,
ship
that's when
round
you
the
went.
Mediterranean.
Oh, you were there.
You were there as well.
Oh, so you weren't the only one that sang with her. So Mike sang with her as well.
Yeah, but I sung with her just on my own.
Did you sing with her on your own?
I can't tell you where we sang because it would be embarrassing when it was in my cabin.
Well, that's okay. That's even better.
I'm intrigued. Carry on.
What?
I'm intrigued.
Midnight, knock on the door. Mike, I'm trying to write this song for Cliff for tomorrow night. Can you help me? The short answer is yes, I can. Come in. Would you like a glass of champagne? This could be it. You don't know. Sat down. We're working on the song. I thought, you never know. This could be the Mike Nolan moment. You know, you never know. There's another knock on the door, and it's a guileless friend of mine who I won't name, called Charles Haswell. And oh, hello, Michael. Are you having a party? Which he didn't get, my Anglo-Saxon mouthing, came in and ruined the party, and I still remind him of it to this day. That was my big chance.
Mike is so jealous of you right now. He hates
Yes,
you
he-
at this very moment.
He
No,
adores
no,
her.
I'm not
He can
jealous.
go, but he's a big boy. No, well,
No, I
actually,
can
he's
go
shorter
with
than
that.
you, but yeah.
But you know what? I wanted to go and meet her when I got there, but they were offering everyone.
She
go
couldn't
and
see
her.
you, were too short.
And it's £60 to go back and meet her. I thought,
How much?
she's a fellow artist. I don't. And there was a photograph of her outside, taken with her and Susan George. But if Susan George didn't pay for the photograph, why should I? So I didn't get to meet her. So I lost it.
I'm just so.
But I know she knows me.
Claire Tipping also says dinner party. You can invite 2 or 3 guests. Briefly, who do you invite? Olivia
And Julie.
and Julie Andrews.
She is very interested. Let me tell you something about Julie Andrews. I saw her doing an interview, and her life is quite incredible what she has done. So there's people probably sitting there, oh, how can you like her? She's very successful. Don't knock her.
I would invite Jesus, Hitler,
Good call. That's a good call.
Jesus,
Hitler.
Hitler, and Marilyn Monroe.
Why Hitler?
Hitler and Jesus,
But why?
because I want him to have a good old chat with him.
He's took.
He's Austrian. You have to just learn to speak German.
Are you sure
Should
Hitler?
have Google Translate.
Yeah,
Are you serious about Hitler?
I'd like to ask him what on earth he was thinking. In fact, I'd like Jesus to ask him that.
Well, Jesus knows what he was thinking because Jesus was around at the time.
It was sort of come down with me. I can see Jesus and Hitler in the back of the car going 7 for Jay. You know,
Maybe 4.
on the way home. Oh, you trashed Adolf. What about you, Cheryl?
I'd like Elvis Presley because I think he had a fantastic sense of humour, and John Lennon for the similar reason, but also because I think he was really sharp.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
loved his wit
Yeah,
and I loved
very
his.
funny.
I loved when he spoke. So yeah, John
And very
Lennon
dry,
and
wasn't
Elvis,
he?
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah.
Billy
you-
Connolly and Frank Sinatra.
Wow.
I would love Billy Connolly because coming from Glasgow and hearing the stories that Connolly's told growing up, I can relate to them with my family, same as you can with your family. Oh, and Mrs. Brown as well. Throw her in.
No, Mrs. Brown's all
She
right.
can be the dessert guest. Just come in at the last minute. But then sitting down with Sinatra and just hearing his story. I'd love to hear his stories that you had. Some of the stories like Monroe. the Kennedys and things like that. Just to drill in.
Julie.
You get them all together in one room, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
On a more trivial note, Gillian Trowbridge says, what are your guilty pleasures that you don't tell anybody else about? You draw the curtains, you lock the door, think, this is
I say.
Yeah.
Jilly, you're such a
Do we
naughty
really
girl,
have
Jilly
to
girl.
say that?
You wait till I see you in the
Guilty
concerts.
pleasures.
one that you normally wouldn't tell people about.
But that's what we're going to not do.
You can't, really.
Yeah, because I can't tell anyone. I can tell you what I wouldn't do. Would that be easy?
That's not the question.
No.
No, I wouldn't shut the curtains and sit down and watch The Sound of Music.
Why don't you just leave me alone?
Am I the only person who's never seen The Sound of Music? Is the music?
When Bobby first joined the band, he came over to us and I sat him in my bed. I said, now look, I'm going to go out, I'm going to pick up some ice cream and some popcorn. And I'm going to sit and we're going to watch The Sound of Music. And I went out to get the popcorn and everything. I came back and he'd gone.
I've gone back to Italy for the
He
weekend.
went to Cheryl's. Little note, I cannot cope with the film. I thought, what a toe rag. So I sat and I ate the popcorn and the ice cream and made myself absolutely sick, but enjoyed that film.
I think it would be a great solo spot for you, would be doing The Lonely Goat Herd.
Oh, don't
Absolutely.
go there. That was an early one, that's what
It's
it
an in-joke.
It's
Yeah.
an in-joke. When we were travelling from, there was a strike on the airlines back in '81, and we had to go to Paris. And then when we get to Paris, was to go down to Dover and go across on the ferry and drive from Calais to Paris, which was overnight. And at night, I'm not really tired. And you weren't tired either, so we decided to have a sing-song. And so we decided to sing the whole song, every song from The Sound of Music. And we did, didn't we?
And we did The Lonely Goat Herd.
And the Lonely Goat Herd, and that's what really
remember
got
it
on.
well.
And Bobby and Jill and everyone just got really annoyed with us.
Will you shut
I
up?
wonder why.
Because you couldn't get the sound of the goat right. That's the thing that was annoying.
That's a really tough question. That I don't.
You have to be a terrific lyricist to even think about rhyming goat herd with every line. I mean, just Oscar Hammerstein, what a genius.